Hello everyone, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys a brand new commentary on Reworked Taric. He just came out yesterday, and unfortunately he's pretty much perma-banned, so it's really hard to actually play that guy because he's pretty much broken. But I did get one game of him, so this is my only game I got, so unfortunately I have to do a commentary on this because it's not that good of a game. But I think this video I'll just be focusing a lot more on just Taric's abilities and team fighting and laning and just kind of what I think about him. So overall, I think the rework was really good. So Taric feels a lot more fun to play. So I think that's pretty important. Whether or not he's balanced is a different story, but I think right now he's very, very, very broken. I think in the right hands, he can pretty much single-handedly win a team fight, as you'll see in some of these team fights later on. And his mid to late game is definitely one of the best out of any supports. I would say his biggest weaknesses right now are his laning phase. I think he has super high cooldowns in most of his spells. Like you can see, like just on his QW and E, they're all 14 seconds at level 1. So that's pretty long compared to most supports, and so it's not even that strong either because it needs a lot of time to scale up. So basically, I would say laning phase is super weak. So if you're ever against a Taric, if you pick really aggressive supports, you can pretty much just abuse Taric. Like I would say, like Thresh would easily win against this guy. So you can see here, I try to go for a level 1 trade, just trying to see how much damage I do, but I pretty much get wrecked by this Soraka Ezreal. So, and like even after that trade, like it's kind of hard to keep on trading like that because like Soraka pretty much out heals me. Well, she out heals everyone, but she definitely out heals Taric because Taric's heals pretty bad early on. So pretty much now we have to kind of just play conservatively now that Soraka has a bit of an edge on us. I do try to get a stun on her right here, but it doesn't really work out that well because you do have to get into melee range to get your autos off, and your autos actually do a reasonable amount of damage from your passive. It's just that it's a little slow because Taric's auto attack speed isn't really that fast to begin with, so it does take a little bit of time to get off 2 autos. And in that span of time, like Soraka can just Q me or silence me, so kind of sucks. But pretty much now I'm decided that I'm just going to play pretty safe just because now that Soraka's level 3, it's actually impossible to trade with her, so it's going to be a pretty boring laning phase overall. I think one mistake I did is that as soon as you level up your W, I should just cast it on Sivir immediately. What's really important to note about the W is that every time you cast it, you put the shield on both you and your ally that you used your W on. So what's really cool is that after you tether them, you can still keep on like spamming W on them repeatedly if you want to keep generating shield on them. Like obviously, like retethering them when they already have a tether doesn't really do anything, but like it's okay. So I guess I'll rewind this a little bit just to watch this trade. So I do get silenced here by the Soraka, so you do have to back off a little bit. I turn back right now because like she's by herself, and I think Sivir and I can poke her a lot. I do get a tiny bit low, and so I exhaust the Ezreal immediately when he goes in for me. I don't think I need the heal right there because I do have a lot of shields. What really sucks right here is that Sivir backed off right when I tried to throw out the stun. So if Sivir was able to walk up a little bit more forward, I would have been able to get off a double stun on these 2 guys, and that probably would have been a kill on the Sivir right there, or the kill on the Soraka right there. So that kind of sucks. Taric definitely works better in a duo lane if you have communication with your AD, just because it's really hard to land a stun, especially if you're trying to use a stun from your ally. So I would highly recommend him if you play him in a duo lane, but in like strict solo queue, it might be a little hard to coordinate that. Anyways, now I am standing a little bit farther back just because I am pretty low, and your heal, it takes a really long time to charge up. Like, it pretty much, you can only use your heal, I would say maybe once every 30 seconds or so, just when you get full stacks. So, and you only heal for about 60, so it's not very much. I was hoping that stun would land, but I only land the Ezreal here. But the Kha'Zix does jump in for the Soraka. We almost got the kill on her, but she does exhaust the Kha'Zix, which denies the damage. There's also a Graves TP, so now we're kind of screwed, and we're all kind of have to split up right now. So there isn't really a lot of sense in me running down this way, just because like Sivir and Kha'Zix are running down this way, and these guys are probably going to go for me because I'm the lowest amount of HP. So the only way I can really survive is if I run down this way. So I heal up and just start running out. Now, I know that Graves is level 5 and he is pretty strong, so if he lands the Q right here, and an auto, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. So I pretty much just have to flash this Q immediately, and then I'm just going to run for my life. I think that was okay to flash right there, because dodging that Q damage is pretty important. However, right here, the Gragas does start to walk around from behind, which does surprise me because I didn't really expect the Gragas to come right now. If the Graves stood around in this tri-bush and waited for us to push forward, that would have been okay because, you know, at least like Graves doesn't have CC, right? So I got kind of greedy because I really wanted to go for this cannon minion, and I think they do a good job of abusing the fact that I'm probably going to go for the cannon minion, and then they just go on me right now. So, like, once I realize, like, what's happening, I'm like, oh, crap, I'm pretty screwed, because right now, the Gragas have to go for the Sivir or go for me, and if they go for Sivir, like, she's definitely going to die, and then they're just going to kill me. So, basically, I try to use my W on the Sivir to anticipate them jumping on her, but instead, the Gragas decides to E forward and flash onto me. So now I know I'm, like, 100% dead, so I just decide to run this way. Kind of just like juking around a little bit and just trying to buy as much time as possible, because basically if I try to keep running forward this way and they kill me, they could just turn on Sivir immediately. Like, they could easily dive with the Soraka, so I'd rather just kind of walk around this way and kind of make them use the resources and kind of kill me over here, so that way the Sivir can get away with taking as little damage as possible. So that's just trying to make a bad situation a little less bad, but overall I did just get greedy for that cannon minion there, so that's definitely something you can abuse if you know that there's a melee hero that wants to use up charges. Anyways, now that I've respawned, I decided to go ahead and buy a boots and target sprays. That's mostly because I know this lane is going to be once again really boring, just because Soraka generally makes lanes really boring. And so since I had 800 gold, I could either buy a Sidestone or buy the targets upgrade, and I felt like having more gold income is probably the way to go. My plan right now is that I want to start roaming as soon as possible, and so I didn't really have enough to buy Mobo boots, and I didn't really think it's worth just getting boots and Ruby Crystal, so I decided to just get more gold income to help me get other items faster. So here I roam mid because I see that Sivir went back, right? So there isn't really a point in me staying bot when a lane is already pushed up, so I decided to just run to mid just to see what's going on, and I happened to see this Gragas ganking the Xerath here after Xerath gets a kill on the Azir. So Xerath does a really good job of living here, so now I'm like coming up here. So I also see that Kha'Zix is on his way also. So basically, I know that my goal right now is just try to stop the Gragas from jumping over the wall right here. So I'm going to do my best to just try to stun him. And so the way I'm going to stun him is that when you cast your E, you actually don't have any casting animation time. So you can keep on running and then just press E whenever you want, and then you'll start the animation for your E. So I put my E this way because basically now, all I have to really do is that once I target the Gragas with my E, all I have to do is just kind of maintain this kind of position, so that way, if Gragas runs left or runs right, I can just mimic him and he'll just get stunned. So pretty much just follow him. Since I see him running to the right, I run to the right also. So Xerath and I both land our skill shots, and then Kha'Zix is just going to jump, flash, and get a kill on him, kill on the Gragas. Note that after I get the stun on the Gragas right here, I immediately move forward to make sure I block the Gragas from using another body slam, just in case, because he could escape like that. And so if he collided with me, then like his distance would get cut. So that was the reason why I moved up forward. So now that we killed the Gragas and the Azir was dead, I'm just gonna help the Xerath push the lane, because the Xerath wants to go back and recall, right? So helping him push the lane is pretty good. I did see a pink ward in here, but I decided not to kill it because I thought like it would be best to help Sivir unfreeze the lane right now. Like, killing the pink ward, I guess it would be okay for my mid laner, but I think Xerath can kill a pink ward okay, because he can usually just shove the lane and just run over here and kill it. So I didn't really think it was a big deal. Anyways, I do see they go on the Sivir here. So luckily the Sivir does move a little bit back to get the stun, and now we're just gonna turn. So this is just kind of awkward because I wanted to turn on the Soraka, but for some reason the Sivir wanted to go on the Ezreal. So like, she was very insistent, and I don't know why like she didn't go on the Soraka right here, but basically she's just like, oh, let's just go on the Ezreal, and I'm like, okay. And then Soraka just kind of runs away. So I have no idea why the Sivir didn't just go on the Soraka, because that would have been a free kill, but that kind of sucks because we just didn't really do anything there. We wasted Sivir ult. I guess the only good thing is that like, we are just shoving in the lane and just getting more pressure, but like, we didn't really accomplish much in that. We just like wasted a free kill, so that kind of sucks. Once again, communication is pretty important. I would say maybe if I pinged the Soraka like 100 times, we probably could have gone on the Soraka, but too late. Anyways, I am level 6 now, so I do have my ult, which is pretty nice because that also means that it's really hard for them to actually kill us, since we do have invulnerability. we're just gonna chill out though. There isn't really much for us to do. Just looking to reshield Soraka, or reshield the Sivir every time the Soraka tries to go for a trade, just so the Sivir has a little bit more HP. And then I'm also just healing whenever I have 3 charges. Playing pretty conservatively. No reason to be that aggressive. Get a nice stun, but it's really hard to get any kind of kill pressure right now when we don't have Sivir ult. I'll just keep trying to fast forward a little bit because this does get pretty boring because once again, like, this is Soraka lane, so my Targon's Brace investment was not a bad idea. So the Gragas does come forward now. So now we're looking to just run because it's a 2v3. There isn't really a point in fighting right now. Sivir's trying to chunk the Soraka as she's coming forward, and I think that is the correct decision because right now we do want to kill the Soraka if we do have to end up fighting them and we're forced to. So I do see the Kha'Zix is coming here, and we do have double TP up. So our team just double TPs instantly. I don't know how they both did this at the same time. Like, maybe they're like duoing. I don't know. But basically, as soon as we see the double TP, we're just going to look to turn right now. So I'm looking to try to use my W on the Hecarim when he comes in, because the Hecarim is like going to be our frontline person, and there's pretty much a 100% chance we're going to dive him. So as soon as they come back, I use my W on the Hecarim. He's going to go charge in, and I also pop my ult right now. So the ult does take a fair amount of time to deploy, but once it deploys, we're pretty much going to look to just straight up dive them under tower. So the Hecarim backs off for some reason. I don't know why, because he was going to get the ult, but I do take tower aggro now. So now that I took tower aggro, I am invulnerable, so I'm just going to sit here and just soak up as much damage as I can on the turret. Pretty much how you would play an Alistar, right? So I kind of sit here, I pretty much take no damage, and now like the Hecarim and Kha'Zix are pretty much free to just jump under the tower and just kill them all. So Kha'Zix goes on the Ethereal, Hecarim goes on the Gragas, and I'm just kind of sitting here, just continuing to take tower aggro. And now took as much as I can, so I'm just going to heal and then back off because I would die from another turret shot. That was a pretty easy dive. Yeah, just that's how like broken Taric ult is. It's pretty much, you can think of it like an Alistar ult that you can use on your ally as well. So if there's a little bit of more communication with me and the Hecarim could have just taken the turret for a bit longer instead of me, but it doesn't really matter too much because we ended up getting 2 kills for that, and we also get this tower, so that was pretty worth for us. Really nice coordinated dive by the Xerath and the Hecarim for TPing down for the dive, and like us all kind of committing, so that was pretty nice. So now I'm looking to, I had a lot of money, so I actually end up buying a Sightstone and mobility boots. Now that we took down this turret, there isn't really a point in me staying bot for much longer, and now it's a good time for me to start roaming around the map. So get Moba Boots and Sightstone. I'm going to preemptively put my tether on the Xerath, just in case. Like, I don't know if something's going to happen to Xerath or anything like that, so, you know, worst comes to worst, like, I can always save my W for, like, someone else if the Xerath didn't actually need my help, so always nice to kind of put your W ahead of time. Anyways, I'm looking to get vision right here, and also trying to look to get vision right here, mostly because putting these 2 wards right here will help watch rotations between the bot lane and the mid. That's mostly because since we took the bot turret, and if we're kind of pushed up, and if the Xerath is also pushed up mid, then it's most likely they're going to walk around like this jungle path right here, so it's nice to have vision there. I actually don't get vision just yet because I believe that I see the Ezreal right here, so I know that if this bush is not warded, then this is going to be a free kill, so I'll just take that chance. And the fact that Ezreal ran this way is a very big sign that this is warded, so now I know that's warded, so that's okay. I'm just going to help the Sivir push out the lane real quickly, mostly just because I want to just leave once again, and then start heading mid to get pressure there. Just going to use up my charges, then I'm going to start running back mid. I thought they were going to re-engage in the Sivir, but they didn't. Sivir's just pushing, so that's cool. Now, I think we did see a Gragas right over here, so I'm looking to just run over there immediately with my team. Like, there is a pink ward here, and I know that Azir is waiting here, so I don't want to commit too hard. Like, I'm going to run up, but then as soon as Azir hits me, I'm just going to back off. There isn't really a point in me just going super ham, just because my team isn't that close to me. So I decided to just back off a little, kill this pink ward. I get chunked a little, but not a super big deal. Now, I do see the Azir and Soraka roaming, which is why I kind of turned back and start heading top. And now the Hecarim and Gragas are fighting right here. So is the Kha'Zix, and it does look kind of bad because I know that the Azir and Soraka are way farther ahead of me and the Xerath. And so, at this point, it's kind of hard to actually try to save the situation, so the Xerath just stops coming and goes mid, which I think is the correct decision. However, I'm going to still try to save the Kha'Zix, mostly just because I do have my ult, and the tether range is pretty long. Like, if I stand, like, right here, I can definitely tether the Kha'Zix. So, there is a chance that I can save the Kha'Zix still, so I decided to keep running up. However, the Kha'Zix does play this, like, pretty well. Like, he barely dodges at 0 ult. He kind of just goes invis again. He's going to jump over the wall, so not too bad. And I tether him preemptively just in case we need an ult, but it doesn't need it because he smites that red buff. And now Xerath is just pushing mid, so I'm going to help him push mid, just out of that turret a couple times. So we get a free mid turret out of that, so not a bad rotation, and I think that it definitely is important to recognize those situations where you can't really quite save your teammate, so sometimes it's better just go push the lane, and that's what the Xerath did. So that was a pretty wise decision on his part. Anyways, gonna rebind to Xerath, help him push a little, and then now I'm just looking to back off. I do need a bit more wards, just because now I want to start getting some more vision for us. So I decided to just head back home. I ended up upgrading to Eye of the Equinox because I really need some vision right now. I don't know if it's actually the best thing to do, but I do like getting Eye of the Equinox on melee people, mostly just because I think having Face in the Mountain isn't that useful. I decided to try to stun the Soraka here because I do see that the Xerath is incoming, but I missed the stun, so oh well, I'm just going to back off, start clearing some wards. I saw Soraka warded this, so I just decided to use my sweeper here, rebind onto the Sivir in case they try to fight us, because I do know that there's other people in this area, like this Soraka's here, so I'm just going to let them take that ward for free. I do stand in the bush right here, just in case he does ward over the cliff right here. So I now know that this is warded, so that's just good information to have. And since I know his sweeper ended, I decided to ward over the cliff again, because having, once again, this passageway right here is really important. I see the Ezreal doing the crab, so I kind of come here just to kind of like spook him. Having the crab, I guess, is fairly important, since Dragon is up. Sivir, luckily, I believe, does get the crab before they do, so that's kind of nice. Anyways, a fight is about to start, so I can see right now that the Azir and Gragas are definitely just going to jump on the Xerath right here. So I know that I do have to use my tether on the Xerath, and I'm most likely going to have to ult. So I wait a little bit, because I'm not sure if the Gragas is going to flash, but I preemptively use my tether and a stun, and I use my stun this way, and I'm going to start walking forward this way, so that way it can kind of cover like all of this area, so that way the Gragas can't actually throw an ult. But unfortunately, the Gragas does end up using his ult right before my stun goes off, which kind of sucks. And I do get knocked up. So now I'm immediately going to just ult us, because the Xerath is about to die soon. So right before the Xerath is going to get hit by another Azir thing, my ult does go off, and now the Azir stopped getting stunned from the Xerath. So he pretty much has to just run, because I think if I didn't use the invulnerability, the Azir could definitely just kill the Xerath with like 2 more autos. But he decides he has to back off now, just because it's really not possible for him to get the kill anymore now that he's invulnerable. Sivir is also vulnerable, so like we're just gonna kind of face roll against his Xerath just to scare him out. Meanwhile, Hecarim is fighting 1v3, so I am gonna look to turn my attention to help the Xerath, or the Hecarim. I am looking to try to get a stun. Unfortunately, I can't rebind. I think my binding was still on cooldown, even though it says it isn't. So I decided to just try to go for a stun right here. I do end up getting a stun on the Gragas, and the Ezreal did have to use flash and heal to get out. So that was kind of nice I used the summoners. And now we do chunk the Gragas for a lot. And now rebind onto the Hecarim for a shield and a heal just to keep him alive. And now we're just kind of disengage. We're going to disengage just a little bit just because now we are a little bit low. So it does seem that the Gragas really wants to re-engage on us again. So I am starting to back off a little bit. I'm kind of just looking around. And I do see the Kha'Zix is coming from behind. And I don't have any other like W to rebind again, so I am just gonna have to look for a stun on my own. So I do see the opportunity right now because the Gragas went in on the E, and the Ezreal is pretty much just like right in front of my face, so I'm just gonna look to exhaust him immediately. And now I'm gonna look to just start charging on my stun now that the Kha'Zix is here. So I line up my stun this way because I'm gonna try to hit the Ezreal, maybe the Soraka, and I'm hoping the Hecarim might be able to hit the Gragas if he moves to the right this way. Unfortunately, the Hecarim just barely misses, but I am able to land a double stun on the Soraka and the Ezreal. So we get a clean kill on the Soraka, and then we follow up with a kill on the Ezreal, and we kill the Gragas. So there's a pretty nice turnaround on all of us. The stun was kind of nice just to land on the Ezreal and the Soraka. So yeah, that was just a pretty hectic team fight overall. I guess in this instance, using my ult defensively was definitely the better option over trying to go for the offensive one on the Hecarim. So that was kind of nice, because the Xerath did do a lot of work that fight. Anyways, we are taking this inhibitor right now, and I think every time you take down a tower, it's always a good habit to place down one ward down, so I end up using one of my wards here. And I did bind Kha'Zix earlier, just in case he's going to dive in like that again, so I kind of stay around just in case he needs a heal or a stun or anything like that. So I try to shield him again, give him a stun, give him a heal, do as much as possible, but he ends up dying, so that kind of sucks. So we kind of just have to run now. Oh well. Anyways, looking now, I decided to go for an Aegis immediately just because Azir is definitely the strongest person on our team, so it is important to get some MR for him, so having Aegis for my team is pretty nice. Also just get 2 Fairy Charms just because I really want a Forbidden Idol. I'm starting to notice now that kind of in the late game, Taric does start to run into a lot of mana issues, especially if you spam your W a lot for the shield, because the W does give, at max level, you know, a 12% shield, which is pretty nice. So I am just looking to try to use that as much as possible. Anyways, Gragas does go in. I'm not sure if the Sivir actually needed to flash or anything. I think that was a good kind of, I guess, bait by the Gragas. But I ended up just shielding her, once again healing, just in case they keep on diving. That's pretty much how you should always start your defensive peel, just WQ, whoever you want to protect, and then just look to stun if you're looking to go offensively, or like, maybe use your ult if you need to. Darius and I both kind of just missed our skill shots right there. That's kind of funny. Anyways, I do see that something is suspicious here because this Gragas is running very aggressively. So I know that someone else is here. Like, probably someone else is behind or someone else is down here. And unfortunately, we don't have vision on these here. But this is enough of a sign to know that this is probably a bad idea. Anyways, Azir gets a nice stun off. I barely missed my stun. Oh well, not too big of a deal. We're just kind of looking to just keep pressure up here while the Hecarim pushes bot. That's essentially our game plan right now. Ultimately, I would like to get a ward in this bush right here, just because, like, right now, if you look at our vision, like, we can't really see anything in the jungle. So having one ward right here would be pretty nice, just so we can see if they're going to flank us. So I am looking to try to get one ward right there. And I do see the Gragas right here as well. So trying to stun, I'm going to look to try to stun the Gragas. The Kha'Zix jumps over the wall. Gragas does a really nice ult and a smite on the red buff for some HP, so he does get out. I do place another ward right here. I was hoping to try to get some more vision, because if you look at this ward, this trinket ward only sees this part and not this other half, so I was trying to put my ward down just a tiny bit more, but I kind of misclicked a little bit. So if I put my ward right over here, I can see this area, which would be pretty nice, but oh well, not a super big deal. Anyways, I used my sweeper because I saw Soraka place a ward here. I was going to go back here, but Kha'Zix ended up sweeping that bush anyways and ends up getting a solo kill on the Soraka, so pretty well played by him. And now we are looking to just straight up dive top. Like, Hecarim ended up taking this bot turret in the meantime, and he is getting a lot of pressure. So it is the most advantageous thing for us to just keep up the pressure here, so that way we can force a fight with all 4 of them here, and then Hecarim can pretty much just take the bot turret by himself, or he can teleport top. So that's kind of our game plan right now. So Kha'Zix and I are here together, and I do have my binding on him, so I am like totally okay with just ulting him in case we need it. He does go in right here, so I see once the Gragas ult, I'm really going to try to just go for a stun. Oh, I end up getting the stun on the Gragas, and now I decide to ult, because I know that now, like, at this point, we pretty much committed, and I felt like this was probably a good time to ult, just because I think the Kha'Zix is going to go in. So luckily, I do end up healing the Kha'Zix just barely enough for him to survive to get the ult off. And now the Kha'Zix is free to just straight up just run on this Graves. And now the Graves can't really do anything because he can't auto the Kha'Zix or anything. So the Graves just tries to ult the Kha'Zix, but invulnerability saves him. And now he gets to jump off. And I try to heal him as a last minute thing. The Gragas ends up going on the Kha'Zix and gets a free Q on him. The Sivir probably should have blocked that. Kind of sucks, but not a super big deal. Anyways, now I tether onto the Sivir because I want to stun this Gragas. I E like this because I pretty much want to cut off his escape path. I don't really know if he has flash or not, so by using my stuns like this, it pretty much covers like this option right here if he just walks forward to the right, and the option of if he flashes or dashes forward a little bit. So now the Grog is pretty much forced to run to the left because he doesn't have any other way to run, and now he pretty much has to keep running left and then he just dies. So that's pretty nice coverage if you use your stun like that, I suppose. Anyways, Hecarim now joins us. We try to go in for a dive. I end up missing my stun. I think if we rewind that, I was really close because I knew the Hecarim was gonna ult in. So let's see what happens here. I believe I end up tethering the Hecarim right here, and then I try to go for the stun, but the Ezreal does flash. That's what happened. And then Hecarim unfortunately doesn't get the kill because Soraka so balanced. And try to save the Hecarim by giving him heals and shields, but ends up dying. And then the Azir goes for a really nice flash ult. All of us get pretty much wrecked. There was really nothing I could do there just because I didn't have my ult. So that was just well played by the Azir. And now they end up taking Baron, but not a super big deal just because we do have a lot of pressure already. We have like mid inhib. I'm pretty sure we can still win this game. Like I don't think this Baron really did anything. But now we look to T-Dragon since they all recalled. I end up finishing my Locket. And looking to now just get a Glacial Shroud, because I would like some more CDR. End up putting one ward right here just in case they walk down this path to Dragon. So we start the Dragon, and now I do see the Graves and the Grog is going to also appear at the same time. So since we know the Graves is at Gromp, we're pretty much just going to run straight up here and try to catch them. I bind to Kha'Zix preemptively, and as soon as he jumps in, I'm just going to go for the stun. I think what happened is that I stunned first because it has a channel time, and as soon as I started the channel time, the Kha'Zix jumped in because he saw it. So that was pretty nice because now we get a free stun on the Graves, and now the Kha'Zix can just keep beating up this guy. They end up retreating, which is quite nice, and yeah, this is just a really chaotic fight. Like, Gragas goes back in. Like, I do have my ult this entire time, but I'm not really looking to ult right now because it does seem like they're just running away, and there isn't really a point in ulting when they're not really doing damage to us because, like, as you can see, the Gragas is retreating. So I decided to just hang on to my ult for now. Still chasing them right now. Like, I decided to go this way because I see my team is going this way, so we're covering more options on the retreat path. So I do try to get another stun. I do get a double stun right here, but I am a little far forward, so I don't try to walk up too much. Now, back off just a tiny bit, and I believe now I go for the ult, just because we are a little separated right now. I do see 5 of them are all grouped up like this. The Sivir is also bot, so I know now, like, this is the time to ult, because it's really not advantageous for us to fight, and if I ult right now, we can pretty much disengage out of the battle. So I make sure to kind of position myself to also nab the Xerath, and since my tether wasn't Hecarim, I know Hecarim is guaranteed invulnerabilities. Now we just kind of back off, and they can't really fight us when we have invulnerabilities. That was kind of nice. That was definitely an ult for disengaging and not really for engaging, so I think that was cool to show an example of that. Anyways, I don't know why the Gragas went back in. Tried to throw a stun off in case he tries to dash this way, but ends up dying anyway, so that was kind of nice, I suppose. This kind of just becomes a siege, I think. There isn't really much going on. We're just kind of like dancing around. Like, Xerath is poking, Azir is poking. Nothing's really going on. Hecarim charges in for some reason. I guess we gotta kill him with Soraka, but I'm like really far away from the Kha'Zix to try to save him or anything, so that kind of sucks. And now I'm kind of caught because I got slowed, so I'm pretty much dead. I try to like stun, shield myself, run away, but not really enough, so a little bit of an overextension on our part. Not really worth for a Soraka kill. Anyways, I respawn now. I do end up finishing my Glacial Shroud, so I do have a fair amount of CDR, which is quite nice. Now looking to try to help out my team. I think we're going to look to try to 5v5 fight immediately. So I do see the Hecarim is going to start charging in, so I do have my tether on him already. After he goes in, I look to try to get a stun. I do get the stun on the Ezreal off the Hecarim, which is quite nice. And now we do get a ton of damage on Ezreal, and he's pretty much dead. So that was pretty nice on the Hecarim's part to aim that. Now that the Ezreal's dead, we're just going to look to take this inhib for free. They definitely cannot fight us right now. That's kind of nice. We end up backing off, and we end up trying to push out this bot wave again, because once again, like, we just need to kind of break their base. And so pushing out bot, pushing out top is definitely our best game plan right now. I saw Gragas was here, so let's see what happened actually. So I think the Xerath was just getting chased by the Gragas. So I end up trying to go get some damage on the Gragas right here, I think. So stun, and then line myself up for so I throw out my stun, and then line myself up for the stun to hit him. And now I get silenced, so I'm kind of screwed right now. So I think immediately I'm just gonna ult myself. I don't really have time to try to W the Xerath or anything, because right now it's just important for me to survive. So I'm just kind of trying to buy as much time as possible. And now my stun does, or my invulnerability does go off right now, so they pretty much just can't damage me anymore. So I end up soaking up like a ton of damage right here. I like soaked up an Azir auto and Ezreal ult, like Gragas stuff. That was pretty nice. So we pretty much killed the Azir for free. Just because they wasted a lot of stuff on me while I was invulnerable. And now we're just going to run forward, get as much damage as we can, maybe a kill. What really sucks here is that I would like to try to help out the Kazakhs, but I did end up getting silenced right now, so that does kind of suck. I also ended up using my W on the Sivir, so that I think that was a big misplay on my part, and I should have just assumed that the Kazakhs was just going to go in, and should have used my tether on him. Anyways, I do rebind onto the Hecarim, get a stun on the Gragas. Hecarim's just going to charge in, and now I'm just kind of looking to just keep on like shielding and healing the Hecarim while we try to get a stun off. End up getting a stun on the Gragas, so that was kind of nice. And now we're just going to look to push and hopefully try to end the game now that Azir is dead. We don't push that fast, and the respawn time on the Azir is pretty low, so we're kind of hoping we can end the game, but it doesn't seem super likely, so we kind of just get super wrecked right now. Like, what happens right here is that like Gragas is going to go in the Hecarim. I'm kind of looking to try to zone out the Azir just because I know that Azir does the most damage to us. The Xerath is like about to die, so I try to lock it and I try to exhaust the Azir, but the Azir does get Thunderlords off the Xerath, so he just kind of dies, and now I'm just like, okay, I'm pretty much dead also. So that sucks. And now the Azir's gonna, or the Sivir's gonna die to the Azir as well. So a little bit unfortunate, but I mean it's an open Nexus, so it's not too hard to end the game right now. Slowly closing it out. I did have a lot of money, so I ended up buying a Frozen Heart. I think armor is pretty important, mostly just because my passive does give 34 armor to, which is like that's just like a ton of armor, right? That's just like a free chain vest, so that's pretty ridiculous, I think, for a passive. I would like to get a little bit of Baron Vision just because Baron is an option, and they do it pretty quickly. So I'm looking just to get some vision for us. I put one ward right here. I try to get this warded, but it's kind of hard since they have a pink ward, and then I'm just kind of forfeiting vision just because I'm waiting for my team to come in. I see Hecarim is kind of looking to engage, so I make sure to keep my tether onto him for now, at least preemptively, and then if the Kha'Zix jumps in or anything like that, I can always switch to a different person. But for now, my tether is always on Hecarim if we do want to fight. They make an Azir tower, so we can't really like push forward that much, so we're kind of just chilling out right now. Just kind of waiting for my sweeper to come back up so I can start sweeping out the area. Yeah. So I do ask for assistance right now, because now I'm going to start sweeping. So I do start using my sweeper. I'm going to cover all like the Baron area just so they can come fight us. And now I do see that we do chunk the Azir for a pretty fair amount. I also see the Hecarim is TPing here, so I think we're just going to go fight right now, I suppose. So I do see the Hecarim's going in this way, so I'm just going to start running forward this way. So we're just going to cut them off completely. Now, I get silenced right here, so I would have ulted right now, but I did end up getting silenced, which really sucks a lot. So now that I got unsilenced, there isn't really important ulting just yet. I try to go for a stun on over here just because it seemed like they do have the kill on this Rocket, and it's a lot more important for me to stun the Graves and the Ezreal. So I am going to start walking forward and try to stun them. Now, I do ult right now, which I think is a little too late because I did end up getting Thunderlords, which kind of sucks. So I think if I ulted maybe 1 second earlier, I probably would have lived. But it doesn't matter that much because I did end up getting the ult on the Kha'Zix, which is pretty important because now he can't just kind of jump in with invulnerability, and they have to just kind of keep running. So that was kind of nice because the Kha'Zix was able to get a free reset, and now he gets a kill in the Azir as well. So that was a bit of a misplay on my part for not ulting earlier, and I guess that kind of shows you like the price you have to pay for not ulting so preemptively. But that's okay. Team ends up cleaning up, and we end up pretty much winning the game now. So overall, I guess you got to see some interesting use of Taric ults. Like in some cases, you can dive him, like in this bot lane instance. In some cases, you can just use it to protect like your backline and your really important people. Like over here, you can use your ult to spook them, like in over here, or you can just kind of fail your ult. So I guess it shows all these different situations. But overall, yeah, you can see how Taric is just really strong in team fights. Like you can get off stuns off your allies really easily, so you can help people that dive your team, like the Hecarim or the Kha'Zix. You can pretty much just keep just spamming your heal and your W like over and over again on whichever guy is taking the most damage, just because it is a really respectable amount of like healing. I guess at max level it's about 180, which isn't that bad. It does scale on health, but I don't think it matters that much. The W is definitely the most important skill to max right now. I think like having a bigger HP shield and more passive armor is pretty important. So definitely max out this. Definitely don't max out the stun, just because you only get about 0.1 second longer of a duration of a stun, and I don't think that matters at all. So don't max out E. But yeah, I mean, overall, like I think Taric is super broken. Definitely play him if you haven't, because that guy is super, super strong. Riot's definitely gonna nerf him in the next week or so. So yeah, just get some free elo, I guess.